Alrighty, boys and girls, so here is back in triceps. So we started out with our seal rows, trying to get full extension of the lat, so I went over the guard there. Those were 4x6. Then we moved on to these lat pull downs with the closer grip handle, really trying to focus on the lower lats. Then we moved on to a wider grip, still neutral grip, but just a wider, trying to focus on a little bit more width in the upper back here. Then we moved on to these rear delt flies, not rows. Single arm, cable. Absolutely love this movement. We moved on to straight arm pull downs. I used my wrist straps to get a little bit deeper into the stretch. Then we moved on to rear delt flies, another variation of these bent over cross cable. Then we moved on to this straight bar cable row. Great stretch, great contraction. Then we moved on to our final two tricep movements. Just did some narrow grip push downs. Then we did some overhead extensions. Really trying to push up and away, really trying to get a good stretch and contraction in the long head. And then here are just some still shots. Alrighty, boys and girls, here is our hamstring and glute day. We started out with a 5x6. Usually I do a 4x6, but I wanted to do 5 today. So we did a 5x6 at 185 on the good mornings. Great hamstring, glute, and erector builder. Then we moved on to RDLs, which I managed to hit 4 sets of 12 with, hitting 2 rep PRs for myself, 225 for 12, 225 for 12, 245 for 12, and this final set shown here at 265 for 12. Didn't really have any form breakdown. Getting a great stretch in the hamstring, getting a great squeeze at the top with the glutes. Then we moved on to lying hamstring curls. Did this with a dumbbell. 3 sets, 10 to 12 reps. Try to force a big squeeze at the top. Good, great eccentric stretch at the bottom. And then we moved on to these cable pull-throughs. Did these for 5 sets of 12. Big squeeze on the glutes at the top. Sumo stance here. Trying to push our hips back, bend our knees a little bit more so we take the hamstrings slightly out of it. Obviously, you're still going to feel in your hamstrings due to the nature of the motion and the hinge, but really trying to squeeze those glutes at the top. Alrighty, boys and girls, so we started out our chest and bicep day with incline bench, really trying to keep a strict arm, keeping a really strict movement pattern here, doing 4 sets of 6 to 10 at 155. Very controlled reps, not trying to bounce it. Then we moved on to the chest press machine here. This I did, my final set is a drop set here. This was a killer. My chest was on fire after this drop set. So I did as many reps as I could with the first weight. Would have liked to get a couple more on that one, but it's all right. Then I dropped the weight off the dial. Did a couple more. Then I dropped the weight on the stack itself. Did a few more. All in all, really happy with how that went. Love that exercise. Then we moved on to straight flies on the cables. Big squeeze at the end. Really long, controlled eccentric. And you'll notice that is a common theme with all three of these fly variations here. So we have the low to high, squeeze, controlled eccentric. Then we have the high to low, again, squeeze at the bottom, controlled eccentric, power back in, and squeeze. Then we moved on to our bicep movements. So we just did a normal curl here with the easy bar handle. Nothing too crazy. Then we moved on to narrow grip to work that peak. Again, nothing too crazy. And then we finished out with cross-body hammers, just to get a little bit more blood into the muscle. Alrighty, boys and girls, here is our quad day. So we started out with a 4x8 on the Smith machine narrow stance hack squats. Absolutely, I'm loving this movement, especially going pretty heavy on it. It's a great quad exercise. I didn't want to walk after this set, to be honest. Then we moved on to, again, the Smith machine setup that we had before, but doing split squats on it. Did these for 4 sets of 12. Again, another crazy quad killer. Didn't want to move after this one either. And then the absolute death, the thing that killed me, 4x20 on narrow stance leg press. This made me not want to even, get up. Didn't want to move. And then we finished out with a 4x8 on the front squats here. I haven't done these in a pretty long time, so these felt pretty good. Quads were definitely dead after everything I had already done. Boys and girls, back, shoulders, and chest. Started out with single arm chest supported rows on the preacher curl machine. Yeah, I know. You guys keep commenting, this is the preacher curl machine. Too bad. It's great for seal rows or chest supported rows, and that's what I'm going to do on it. Did these for 4x6, heavy, controlled, eccentric, big squeeze at the top. Then we moved on to low to high cable flies here. Did these for some decent reps. Nothing too crazy, but really trying to push those elbows together. That's what's going to give you the most peak contraction. Then we did these single arm D-handle lat pull downs. Absolutely loved that movement. I think I'm definitely going to be doing those more often. Then we moved on to these rear delt cable row or cable fly variation. Then we moved on to the straight cable fly. Big squeeze at the top, controlled eccentric. Moved on to the normal pec deck fly. Then we did rear delt pull downs behind the neck. If you guys have good shoulder mobility, you definitely can do these. Try to work up to the mobility though. Then we did straight arm pull downs. Big squeeze, trying to push your elbows past your back or past your hips. Then we did tricep push downs. Bicep curls. And we finished off with lateral raises, which are here.